We are now officially recording, and it's Tuesday, the 12th of July, and we're going to be talking a whole bunch about the content aware fill and a few other little tricks and tips and stuff. So hopefully everybody's going to be happy at the end of the day, and we'll see what goes on. So here we go, share screen, and we'll go to Photoshop. First things first. And can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
You can see that we have West Coast School scheduled for June 4th through the 9th next year. Sandra Pierce, Shannon Taves Squires, Tim Meyer, Joe Glida, Woody Walters and Chris Woolley, Doug and Laura Bennett, Michael Collins, and Tony Corbell. So it should be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it because it's always just a total blast for me all week long. So we will be there. We will have fun, whether you like it or not. And we will go from there. So let me close that puppy out. And we'll go to the first thing we're going to do, which is content aware fill. And one of the cool things about this is the AI, artificial intelligence that's going on with Photoshop lately. It does just about everything for you. So a couple of ways I can get rid of this ball is to make a selection of it. I can use the elliptical marquee tool, or I can use the lasso tool. I don't have to have exact on my selection, so I'll just use the lasso tool, go around it. And then I'm going to go to edit, fill, content aware. Boom, done. Didn't do a heck of a good job. I don't know why it blurred it out like it did, but that's fine. We'll just undo that. We'll go to edit, content aware fill, which is totally different. And we'll talk a little bit about this. When you start with your content aware fill, see if I can get it to, this is probably what it looks like. If somebody's got background noise, if you could mute it for a second, I'd appreciate it. This is probably where you start with your preview, a teeny tiny preview on the window. It's like, oh my God, I can't see anything. Well, all you have to do is get the double arrows on the left of it and drag it over, make it big. If you want to add more, you go up to your paintbrush at the top. Green is what it's going to take away right now. You can see it's painting because it's taken away. Or if you click on the option or the plus sign in the top left, there's a plus and a minus. It defaults to the minus, but if you put the top up there, I'm going to deselect, get a smaller. It won't allow me to deselect. Okay, let's take my lasso tool. And I didn't want it that way. I want it the other way. So I'll hold option key. And option key will take away what you have selected right now. Go around the circle. Why is it doing that? Photoshop doesn't want to play today. I don't know what it is. If I hit my keyboard shortcuts, it disappears and goes back to where it was. So I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what the heck is going on with that. It's crazy.
Do you need to have a different selection tool, the one just to the right of where you've got it pressed?
What you have up
You've got
here.
additive. I think you need subtractive, don't you?
Well, it doesn't matter because I was
Oh.
holding the option key a second.
Oh, you were, I'm sorry. Yeah, I see. Huh.
Subtract that, see what happens.
Maybe you have to
And
add
it takes away the ball. So let's not do that.
Yeah, but the green around it, isn't that what you're supposed to be looking at?
Yeah, but I'm trying to get rid of the area between the ball and the green.
Yeah, but you got two selections, don't you?
Let's
think-
try this.
Maybe that rightmost one is what you need to click on.
Yeah,
One more.
There we go. I'll just intersect it
Yeah,
and draw around it. Okay, now it's kind of sort of working, which is good.
still got that
Ba-
blur there.
Still got a little bit of blur there. Anyway, we'll talk about different things. The brush at the top on the left, you can add or you can subtract from your selection. That's subtracting from the selection. And what I will do is I'm going to subtract the fuzzy part at the bottom, and hopefully that will help make it gooder. So I'll just make the brush bigger and take out the stuff that's not in focus at the bottom.
Hmm.
I did a little bit there. So the areas where it's not in focus, I want to get rid of. And that's a whole lot better there.
Mm.
So the problem I was having is I'm finding all these areas that are out of focus because the depth of field is so shallow that it wants to take that area and fill it in. So. And the more I take out, the worse it gets again.
And if I
Yes.
understand correctly, then in the content aware fill, it starts sampling the whole image outside of what you're trying to replace?
It's going to sample the area that is painted. So the area that's painted green right now is where it's
Right,
selecting
right.
to sample.
Hmm.
So we got that. We got the brush working. We got the lasso tool working. You can use the polygonal lasso tool. I haven't used that in years because I don't need it. You go down to the hand and you can move both images around. Whichever one you're clicking on. And then you have the zoom tool, the same as everything. Right now it's set to scrubby zoom, which I hate, because I like to be able to draw a line around where I want it to zoom in. And that's what's on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, you have your details here, show sampling area. So if I unclick that, it gets rid of the painted area, but it's still sampling that particular area. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's paint out that again. That made a little difference, not much. You can change the opacity. So if you want your opacity way up or way down, you can do that. 50% is where I normally have it because that's the default. I've never thought of changing it before. You can change the color. So if you want red, you can have red, yellow, blue. So like right now, it's set to green. If this was more of a lime green like the sample is there, I would change the color so I can see where I'm going at. But right now I'm going to leave it at green. So I'll hit cancel. Indicates sample area or excluded area. So you can tell it which one you want to see. To me, this has always been the way it was since they brought it out a couple years ago. I do sampling area. Auto is probably the simplest way to do it. You can do rectangular, custom, and auto is what I've been using. So, and it painted it back in when I changed it. Fill settings default, you can do color adaptation high, or you can do very high. And I'm going to do none or default. I'm going to do none because that worked the best. Cool. And then rotation, adaptation, it rotates the pixels around trying to help you out, but doesn't always work. And then every time you do this, you get this, do you want to continue kind of thing? And yeah, I'll continue. You can also turn it off so it doesn't happen again. That was full. I'm gonna turn that guy off. This is high. It's almost there. Medium. And, whoops. And low. I think high was the best, so I'll leave it at high. Hi there. And you can do scale where it scales the pixels to fit a little bit better. And you can also do mirror where it will mirror the images. I don't like that. And output down at the bottom, you can output to current layer, new layer, or duplicate layer. I'm going to leave it at new layer. And then I'm going to click OK. And then deselect. And it didn't do a super great job, but it's a good starting point. Excuse me 1 second. But it's a good starting point. You could also do it again as well. Pick it, go to edit, content aware fill. Not enough pixels because when I did the new layer, it only did that little bit. So let's do Command Option Shift E, which is filling in the blanks, edit, content aware fill. And we'll take out the blurred areas again. And when I'm doing this, you see down here, it's spinning and there's also a warning down at the bottom that tells you it's still working. So in this particular case, we got it working now. And then we'll just click on OK, deselect, and it's a whole lot better than what it was before we tried fixing it. So that looks a whole lot better. Like if you didn't know that that was done, you would never be able to tell. So don't save. I'm going to go to a bird. And this guy was one of my favorite birds in South Africa. I really, really enjoyed photographing him. And I'm going to crop this to 8:10 so it'll be faster to work. Yeah, let's do 10:8. Why not? More appropriate. And when you work on this little branch that's sticking out to the right, you're going to notice that it doesn't work extremely well here, no matter what you do. So we'll do the first one, which is content aware fill. Do fill, content aware fill, and it left a little bit of green there because it picked up the bird. So let's undo that. And we'll go to edit, content aware fill. And you didn't see me go to the menu because I had cheated and used my keyboard shortcut to fill it in. So what I'm going to do is get rid of this tail there. Actually, that's not too bad. We'll leave it at that. Call it good. Deselect. And you could almost not tell that it happened if you didn't know it was there, which is cool. Okay, let's compress it. Command E will bring everything down to one layer. And what I'm going to do now is change this from a background layer to a regular layer by clicking on the lock on the right hand side. And I want to make this the size of Facebook page. So I'm going to take this bird and I'm going to select him. And have a selection going on there. I'm going to go to my channels and I'm going to add a mask, which is the little square donut at the bottom of the channels panel. And alpha 1 is picked, which is what I want. I wanted alpha 1. I'm going to go to edit. No, I'm not. I'm going to do something first. Let's do free transform. Command T. Undo that, hang on, deselect them. Command T to free transform. I'm going to make the right side a whole lot bigger, but it's not working for me. Never mind. I am so not with it today. I apologize, folks. I need to crop. So I'll just go to a Facebook crop. That is a Facebook crop, which is 851 by 315 pixels. And then I will just drag it out a little bit, click OK. And when I dragged it out, what it did was created this blank area here. So now I've got my bird where I want him, and I'm going to go to Edit, Content Aware Scale. And up at the top, it says Protect Alpha 1. Alpha 1 is the bird that we selected, so he's going to be protected. And I'm going to hold the Shift key down, drag this to the right. And maybe a little bit more and call it good. And you can see now I dragged everything to the right to make it the Facebook size, but the bird did not get dragged. So if I was going to do a free transform and try to drag him over holding the Shift key, you see that the bird gets all wonky as well. Wow, this is like deja vu all over again. You see if I stretch to the right that the bird gets wider when I do that, where the content aware scale kicks in, which is this one right here. Edit, content aware scale, or keyboard shortcut, Shift Option Command, or Shift Alt Control C for content aware scale. So questions on that one? Has anybody seen that one before? Okay, the trick to that is, go ahead. Okay, the trick to that is the areas that you're going to stretch have to be kind of a smooth without anything in there. So if I was to stretch it out, let's go back in history. Content aware fill, make visible, lasso, save selection, deselect, go to here. If I was to put a text in there, B1RD, and we'll make them white. So we'll make it red so you can see it. Okay, white. This is unbelievable. Okay, B1RD. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing over again. We'll flatten it down, Command E to flatten it. Let's do a crop. And we're going to make it big like this. And then what I want to do is the same thing we did before. So what I'm going to do is go to Edit, Content Aware Scale, and we're going to drag it out to the right to make it bigger again. And that is not playing like it's supposed to. Edit, Content Aware Scale, that's locked. Hold the Shift key. There we go. And you can see now everything is stretching out because it wasn't protected. Including the letters, they were stretched out as well. The clear areas were stretched, but you won't notice that they did that. So don't save, go crazy. I'm already there. Let's go to content aware fill again, just to show what it can do. What I want to do is take out all of these wheels really quick. I'll go to edit, content aware fill. Did it work for a second? Click
There it
OK.
is.
And catch up. Come on, you can do it. And you can see my wheel spinning there, thinking. Deselect. There is a little bit of tracking right here. So I'll just do the same thing again. Edit, content aware fill. And I'll just click OK because it'll go quickly, I hope. And it didn't. Wow, it made a bigger mess. And one of the things you can do when you're doing the content aware is feather your edge just a little bit. Wow.
Michael, what possibly could be set up wrong if content under edit, content aware fill is grayed out?
You don't have a selection. If you don't have a selection, it might be grayed out. So let me deselect and go to edit.
You got it.
Content aware fill is grayed out.
Got it. Thanks.
Okie
You're
doke.
great.
Just remember that when you sign up for West Coast School. Okay, we do content aware fill again. There we go. Now it's going to play better. It is like running extremely slow right now. Photoshop and Zoom are fighting and don't want to get along. Perfect. Now I'm happy. So there you have it, the magic of content aware fill. Command W, don't save. And one of the things here, I'm going to do some magic on a Dennis Hammond photo. I'm going to enhance his photo big time.
We taking you out?
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, so now I am selected and I'm going to expand it by about 2 pixels. So I'm going to modify, select, modify, expand. Let's do 2 pixels just to make it bigger, because sometimes you'll get a little bit of a shadow going on around the edge. And so when I do that, we'll go up to edit, content aware fill. And you can see it's still picking up a lot of stuff there. So let's go over here and we'll subtract him out. Take out all the colors because I need to be in the white there. And it's almost there. So let's go ahead and call it good. Deselect. And then I would just take my healing brush, J for healing brush. And now you have the perfect image.
Mhm.
We liked you in there, Michael.
Okay, we can do that. He's back. You gotta have fun with these.
Well, only if he looked like he was having fun.
I was smiling.
Really?
You can't tell, but I was smiling. Yes, the best smile you're going to get out of me. So any questions on the content aware fill? Going once?
Are you
Go.
suggesting that this would be great for family portraits and get rid of the in-laws?
Yeah, and you can also pose them so they're close to the edge and easier to get them out.
Thanks, Mike. This
No
was
problem.
great.
Cool. We're gonna use object selection tool to take care of this. I'm gonna do a real quick thing really fast. This is kind of a Sandra Pierce thing, but as soon as it picks it up. And I'm not gonna do an exact extraction really fast, but just fast enough. That's close enough. Command J, put him up on his own layer. I'm going to turn him off. I'm going to use the mixer brush, which on my keyboard, the mixer brush is set to A because I changed my things. So this is a Sandra Pierce brush. You just go in, paint out a background really quick. And I mean, this is really quick, too fast, I'm sure. With the mixer brush, you can drag the colors around a little bit. So I'm going to bring up the light colors to the dark gray. Bring Clayton Kershaw back in. Now you got them on a separate background. And you can tell I went really fast because it's not a fantastic job, but there you go. Just that fast. Ah, or was that a boo?
I said, ah,
Okay, I didn't know if you were mooing or booing or what you were doing. So anybody have any questions on that? Really easy. I mean,
I
just
have a question on why you use channels to do that selection and protect the subject in your first one.
okay. Let me open up another one real quick. Oh, doing the
To protect the bird,
content aware
Why-
scale. Okay, and let me get them
yeah,
opened up again.
why channels rather than some other method of protecting the bird? I
Let's show-
don't know enough about channels.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll show you real quick. So let's crop them again. And let's do 8x10.
Michael, you need to share your screen now.
Well, quit your whining already. God,
Here again. I'm sure.
how's this? This a little bit better?
Yeah,
Thank you.
No problem. So let's go ahead and change it to a layer from background so it's not locked. And we'll do the crop tool, do the Facebook crop. And I have a preset for Facebook crop, proof crop, and then yearbook crop, and then all the ones that I use on a regular basis. So let's do this. Put them up in the big up there. I would just do that for now. And when you go to the content aware scale, this is not good.
We lost your screen.
I know that. Let me show you why, see if it'll show you or not. Can you see my screen right now?
Not yet.
yeah, I can.
It says Adobe Photoshop quit unexpectedly. Well, guess what? It did. Reopen. I'm not going to send a report. Normally I send a report every single time so that they can fix the bugs that happen. And I don't know what, something's going on with my machine today, so I won't
You
blame it
gotta-
on Photoshop.
You got to pay your subscription.
No, it's paid. Trust me, it's paid. Okay. Stop share. Share again. Photoshop. Photoshop's open for you guys?
Yep.
Okay. Let's get the bird in again. Open. Ay, ay, ay. Thank you for your patience today, folks. This has been a wonderful experience.
Mhm.
Go to crop. Let's do a 10x8 just for fun. Now I'm going to go to a Facebook crop. And if you have a crop that you like let's say I wanted one that was 7x3. So 7x3 at 300. Click OK. Click OK. I'm going to unlock the background again, go into my crop mode. Hold my shift key while geez. Huh.
Huh.
This is not playing well today. With my shift key held, I should be able to just drag it over and make it bigger. We'll just do this and fill it in. Okay, I'm going to lasso the bird again. And I'm going to go into my alpha channel. So I'm going to go to channels, click on the square donut, which is your layer mask. And he's now masked. Everything's perfect. Deselect. Now I'll go to edit, content aware scale. And up at the top up here, you have protect. You can click on a person. If you have a person in there, you can just click on the person and it should protect skin tones, but it won't protect clothing. I'm going to protect Alpha 1. Alpha 1 is the channel that I did, the channel mask. So I click on Alpha 1 and then I just drag it out. And you can see that it protected
The bird.
the bird, which was my Alpha 1. So that's why you have to do channels and go into Alpha 1 and all that fun stuff.
Okay,
Does that semi-explain it?
yeah, that helps.
Okay,
I probably need to study up on what channels are a little more, but I can see how where you clicked over there and protect, so that helped me. I missed that on the first part.
okay, no worries. Good. I got to study up on channels as well. So
Okay.
I need to study up on everything really.
I
Because
understand channels.
if you don't practice and you don't stay current on all the different tools, it's hard to keep current. And you will notice, well, you didn't notice because I had it hidden on my desk, but I had a cheat sheet for how to do that last one because I haven't done it enough to have it in my mind. So, any other questions?
Can we do a future one of these Photoshop parties on channels?
Maybe down the road when I study up a little bit more on channels, kind of like when I do the pen tool. We'll do them both in the same show. How's that?
And luminosity masks.
And luminosity mask, yes. I keep it simple. All the things I show are very, very simple. And I want to make sure, number one, that I know what I'm doing when I do it, which obviously it shows that I don't know what I'm doing, but I try. So,
Michael,
yes.
I have a question for you. What's the difference between that expansion process that you did and just simply going up and making sure that the content aware is turned on when you do the crop, because it should automatically fill in at that point anything that is not there.
Well, let's go ahead and try that. So let's go ahead and share screen again. And you can see my screen again.
Yeah.
Go back in history. Go back to open. Crop. Let's do 8x10 again. So let's say I wanted to do that funky crop, well, it's Facebook crop. Let's try that one. Oh, my Facebook crop is gone because it shut down by itself. Okay, we'll do 5x7 crop, or 7x5 actually. And unlock that, 7x5. And you want to do a content aware fill. So let's see how it does. Click OK. And we wait and wait. And it did an okay job. You would never know that it was done with content aware fill, but you can do that. It depends on what you have available in here showing up. If I want to take this puppy out, I don't like that.
Can you, if you don't use the content aware scale, can you protect in the other one?
No, you cannot protect.
So that's the reason why.
Yeah. Not perfect, but
One thing
makes
one thing that makes a big difference here on that is your first content aware, first crop that you did, you have it throw away the unused pixels. If you had not done that, when you try to do the extension, it's just going to go back to the original image and bring in those pixels at that point, correct?
I do not know. Let's go ahead and go backwards a couple of steps. Crop. So there's my 8x10 crop. Let's go ahead and do, whoops.
So you have to, you have delete crop pixels.
Right.
If you turn that off,
okay, let's try that. Let's go to do this guy here, create my alpha mask, deselect, edit, scale. It didn't make any difference for that, but I'll go back one step.
if you went back to where your original, if you go back to the original image,
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and back up to that point if you would.
Okay.
Okay. Now go ahead and just do a crop in the middle. Make it a small crop. Okay, there we go. Accept that. Now if you go ahead and change your crop so you end up with more space, watch what happens. See, notice right now, as soon as you did that, because you did not delete the cropped images, or
Right.
cropped images, you're now going back and cropping against your original image.
I guess what I was showing is when you have an image that you want to crop outside the box,
Right.
like if I was going to do this full image and I was going to crop outside the box. Hang on, well, let's just clear the crop and go outside the box here. Which adds some to the right. I needed more on the right-hand side for some reason.
Right.
And then lasso my bird. Call it good. Deselect. And then go to edit, content aware scale. If I wanted to make this bigger off to the right, You can see I can stretch it really far without this bird going crazy.
Mhm.
So I'm taking more than what I really had, which would be probably the same as doing the content aware fill crop as well. So I see where you're coming from, Bruce.
There's so many ways to deal with this. This
Definitely.
is extremely handy. What you just showed us is, for instance, your original image had something off on the right that you did not want to have in it at all.
Right.
So basically you cut that out and then you go ahead and fill it in with the, like deleting those pixels and then go ahead and fill in using that method.
Yeah,
methodology.
it just depends on what you're trying to accomplish with it. And here's one tool. You got the content aware crop tool.
Mhm.
You've got the content aware fill. There's so many different ways to do these things. It works out, does wonders. So
Yeah.
cool. Well, thank you. Thanks for bringing that one up. I forgot all about that.
I have a question on what was showing on your screen. It gave you a checkbox to delete the cropped pixels or to do the content aware fill. Mine used to give me a checkbox to decide whether to delete the cropped pixels or not. And now it's giving me some funny symbols. So is there some way to come back with that? I mean, I guess I figured it out, but I'm just wondering why it's still showing on your screen when I have to figure out this new icon that says delete cropped pixels or don't.
Okay, so up at the top, you have your delete crop pixels. And it's
Right.
not showing up there for you?
No, it's not. It's showing up as something different now. It's got a little crop box with a trash can. And when you press that, then you're going to delete the crop pixels. It took me a while to figure that out. And when you unselect that, the cropped pixels stay. But I'm old school. I like the old way.
Which version of Photoshop are you on?
Let's see what this is. It's
Up at the very top, it should say.
23.4.1.
Let me see where I'm at here. 23.4.1. So, Mac or PC?
Mac.
That is bizarre. I don't know the answers to that.
Yeah, there
That
must be
sounds
something.
like that sounds like a preferences setting for somewhere.
Yeah, it probably is.
menus.
Maybe when I upgraded it, just changed the preferences and I need to go back in there and change them to legacy or something. I'll look around for that.
I'll look and see if I can find something on there for you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see anything off the top of my head.
I guess I can just learn this because the content aware fill's got a different little symbol now too that I'm just going to get used to it, I think.
Okay.
But I was surprised when I saw yours.
Michael, this might be a little elementary, but can you go through how to add a new crop?
Okay, we can do that. And let's go to Photoshop. Close my preferences. And what kind of crop would you like? Give me a fictitious number.
Well, let's do something like that Facebook one, 851 by 315, but you already have that.
No, because when I
went away.
crashed, it took it away. Okay, 851 px for pixels by 315 px for pixels. And it doesn't matter here because it's the same amount of pixels whether you're at 300 dpi or ppi or 150. It's still 851 by 315. So we like that crop. So I'm going to click OK just to crop it for fun. Okay, we cropped it. So what I'll do is go over next to the house, which is home. It has my crop tool presets. Hit the drop down the settings, or you can hit the plus sign for new tool preset. And I'm going to change it from crop tool to Facebook crop. And I leave the dimensions in there for me. So I know what I'm doing. And 851 by 315, click OK. So now when you go into the presets here, you have Facebook crop. So if I wanted to, let's do this, Command 0. I'm going to do a Facebook crop on just the bird. So I'm going to type in, I'm going to do 8 by 10 just to put a crop in there. Well, I don't want 8 by 10, so I'll hit escape, go to Facebook crop. And this is going to be way, way pixelized because I did it a couple times making it small, but it automatically went to that 851 by 315. When I shut down,
When you were in style, did you first hit, before you put those dimensions in, did you put a fixed ratio or fixed size?
no,
Rather than normal?
I just did width by height resolution. So in the beginning here, it just has width by height resolution. And you type in what you want. Then you go to your presets and you click on the new tool preset from the drop down. And it tells you, it pre-fills it in for you, but you put in what you want. All the tools that I use on a regular basis, here's my brush tool. I have presets in here for what I want to do. Soft round brush is obviously the one that I use all the time. I've got a cloud brush. I've got an eye brush, colors for eyes, making magic dust. Let's make some magic dust. Have the star brush, which is really cool for putting a sparkle in somebody's eye. And then stars for skies. I don't even know what this one is. Oh, you can make snowflakes or stars, whatever you want to call it. But each one of my tools has a preset. My text tool, I'm not sure. I do have it. You can do it with the text tool as well. In fact, in a couple of weeks, we'll do presets and talk about how to make presets. And make some presets for you guys on the different tools and how they work. Does that sound good?
Sure, thanks.
Okay. Other questions? Well, it's nice to have a lot of questions today. I love it. Testing me. No more questions going once, going twice.